Hello everybody, welcome to the Arcane Gate. I'm Denaru.
And I am Charles Walker, Volmuk 20. Welcome everybody. So this week, in our game, we pick back up where we left off in the Free Cities of Merton, where the party was experiencing a little bit of downtime as they prepare for their next adventure. It's going around shopping, exploring the city, learning new things, chasing each other through the streets until the authorities get involved and a new NPC ends up intervening and having a big misunderstanding where he thinks that some of the party's in danger, and a fight nearly ensued, but everything turned out okay. So, we are picking off there with the party making it back at the hotel at night, just exhausted and shocked at everything that happened, but they're there. So, y'all wake up the next day feeling pretty good, actually. It's pretty rare that y'all had a day where y'all didn't really do much. You just had a nice little day on the town. So, what will this next day on?
Nice.
Well, Amarok,
you're like a bad day on the town.
You're about as tense as ever, Amarok, but everyone else is feeling pretty good. Hey. But yeah, as you all wake up around the morning, you hear a knock at the door, and you hear the voice outside, Mistress saying, "Morning, everybody. I assume all your shopping needs were found well yesterday."
Ah, yes. So, well, we require another shopping trip.
Oh. Unfortunate. But anyways, when you get a chance, Mugen sent for you. He said he has a job lined up for you if you were up to it.
What kind of work?
So meet him. It's clearing out some building that's been abandoned for a while now, is what I heard.
If it's abandoned, it's already cleared.
Apparently not. He's at the Bunsen Brewer anyways, if you would like to talk to him.
Bunsen Brewer, alright.
Alrighty then, I shall be off on my day. If you need anything, feel free to step by the office.
Will do.
So, Amarok, how are you this morning?
I'll live. Let's just leave it.
Will we, though?
Look, I'm not mad at y'all. Y'all technically didn't do anything wrong, but we have to set some kind of... Okay? Some point. We need to have a sit down and talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, not doing anything at the moment.
Alright. Girls, I don't want you to think that you have to hide any of your interests, okay? I'm not here to shame you for anything you might like or want to do. I want you to have the most normal lives you can, given the circumstance. That's just, I want you to live to enjoy them. When you run off on your own like that, it makes that hard. Do you understand? You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah.
Look, if you want to do anything you can, okay? I'm all for it. You can do anything. I'm not your father. I'm not your family. Okay? I'm someone who wants to look out for you as a friend. Okay? That's it. I just want to keep you alive through this.
And we do appreciate that.
Yeah. Sorry for running. It was sort of like a forced habit.
Yeah, that was more like instinct. Against
haven't
you,
exactly-
just in general.
I appreciate you letting me know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Cyrus,
Huh?
stuff did you not get done yesterday?
Well, didn't get to check out that other magic shop.
Yeah, we didn't go to there either.
Sounds like we're not splitting the party today.
Yeah, just took the time.
Oh, don't worry.
At least not yet.
It was at least comical for me.
That's a word you can use
Got
to
it.
describe that, I guess.
I'm glad it was to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it takes a lot to fully entertain me, and that surely did it. Enough so that I actually talked to guards for hours on end. But enough of that. Say we get to our shopping, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
We should check in with Mugen.
That is true. If he has a job for us, he might have pay for us too.
You run out of your money?
Yeah, we can get more money.
I mean, you run out of your money. I'm gonna put that as a yes.
I mean, one can always get more money.
Oh wait, do you want to buy something that was really expensive, or was that someone else?
Oh no, it was me. She didn't tell me how much it was, and then she gift wrapped it for me.
Should have asked before she did that.
She assumed, but at the same time, the look on her face of disappointment was also kind of nice. So I think I got my payback.
I'm sorry. You were. It was nice, the look of disappointment.
In her face, yes.
Okay.
So concerning.
I mean, she's the one who tried to, push a 20,000 gold item down my throat. If I'd have known it was that much, I would have asked for it. But did I see a price tag? I did not. So therefore, she deserved it.
To be fair, usually more expensive items are going to have the price tag on them for that exact reason.
And it is criminal, don't you think?
I really agree it's dumb.
Exactly. So, get the payback where payback is due.
We're going to have to
Alright.
disagree on that. I guess we're heading to the other magic shop, wherever that is.
Unless, Amarok, you think we should head directly to talk to Mugen.
We should probably, like I said, talk to Mugen first, figure out what he wants, if we want to do it, and then we. Because he does actually have other tasks. And the quicker we can get to him, the quicker he can get back to him.
I guess it'd be polite at least.
Let's go there, I guess.
Ooh,
Are you awake?
field trip.
You two did have a lot of sugar yesterday.
It wasn't so much sugar. I was actually exhausted even without the sugar.
Yeah. No, at this point, Maddie just looks like she's a child. You can tell that she feels bad.
It was Luna, but she's trying to hide it.
Because nothing's more, it's worse hearing the disappointment rather than someone yelling at you.
Yep, that's it. I'm not angry, I'm just
mad,
disappointed.
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I guess we're off to the dude. Can't remember his name.
Mugen.
Okay.
Yes.
Mugen.
Alright. So y'all are heading to the Bunsen Brewer. It's pretty simple. Y'all go out in the morning, get your breakfast, and move along. And you see, once you get outside the big hall of the alchemy building, you see the next building adjacent to the alchemist building is a pretty decently sized pub called the Bunsen Brewer. You see, looking at the sign, you see the sign in big bright letters. It says Bunsen Brewer. With at the very end, there is a flagon under an over an open flame.
How
Going
hard would
inside.
it be? Oh, continue.
No, what?
I was just going to say, how hard would it be to find Mugen in this place?
He tends to stand.
Well, it's 7 a.m., so going into this tavern at 7 a.m., there's not a lot of people in there.
Cyrus
But you
instantly
do see
realizes, why am I up this early?
Yeah, you notice there's not a lot of people out in the streets right now anyways. Going inside, you see a few people in there reading. There's some people eating breakfast. And Mugen is sitting at the bar with a few flagons in front of him, actually. As you come in, he just kind of lifts one to you. Hey, you actually did come and didn't have to come to you for trouble reasons.
We wouldn't miss this. We heard that you were needing us and thought it would be proper to come find you ourselves. Isn't that right, Emerok?
Yeah.
Right. Here, grab a table. Hey, Cookie, get some drinks out for everybody. Well, 3. Get 2 juices as well. And he guides you all to a pretty decently sized round table and sits the flagon down. And shortly after, a female satyr comes out. You see, as he looking at her, you see her long goat legs. She's got kind of a floral, a real poofy blouse on. She has bright blue eyes with a pair of small horns sticking out of a big poof of brown curly hair. She has a big smile on her face. Y'all notice to be a faunus, a female satyr. And she walks out to everyone and it's like, "Oh, hey everybody! I heard you guys are Amarok's friends."
Ah, yes. Emerok, patting him on the back. He's a great friend of ours.
Alright. Yeah, Amarok, you've known Cookie for a while now. Her and Mugen are close, quote unquote.
Intimate.
There's
Seductive eyebrows.
You don't know if they're in a serious relationship or not, but there's always been the rumors and signs that they are, but they've never actually confirmed it.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
But she sets all the drinks down like, "Well, here, all you go. Enjoy. And Amarok, it is good to see you again."
It's good to see you too.
Yeah, good to have you back. It's just, I don't know. It seems nicer having you around. There's a lot of boring recluses in this guild, to be perfectly honest, and this war in general.
Yeah,
She kind of laughs.
my award-winning personality here. I'm just such a joy to be around. I know.
Oh, you've seen some of my clientele. And she kind of laughs as she walks back behind the bar. And Mugen turns to you. Well, anyways, not sure how much Amaraka may have explained some of the fun old guild politics in our city without politicians. The guilds, when you boil it down, they're all competing merchants in a way. That brings us to the problem of they don't really like to help each other out. Because it also makes sense. Why would you help someone that you are directly competing with at all times? So, generally that's why some issues comprised within their specific ward, generally the guilds will have to take care of it in itself. And when some things happen in the independent wards, generally there's a bit of a scalping mission to determine who can do what, but generally Advent, with the nature of what they do, they generally come in to take care of most things. Unfortunately, I said I had some jobs available, but it seems like Advent is wrapping them up pretty quickly with some new allies they have gained in recent times.
Allies?
Yeah. We vaguely mentioned it in a meeting. Did you hear that they had some special undead hunters that apparently joined their ranks lately? Official sources have told me they're not actual members of the guild, but they've been hanging around and helping them out.
What would they have to gain?
They're adventurers, apparently, so gold, probably. I mean, what are y'all here for?
I mean, you are completely right, yes.
I just thought it'd be nice to visit home again.
Well, thank you, Amarok. I'm flattered, but I'm sure you also came here to check on the job and not just check in on me, or you probably would have came to see me yesterday.
In his defense, we were dealing with...
Chasing through the streets, I saw.
Yeah, and the guards. We had to talk to the guards.
I saw the report. Yes, I did. Now, essentially, with that being said, issues within the city usually happen to be taken care of by independents. Advent has had a lot of free extra people lately to be able to take some of these jobs. So it is up. So there's one job in particular that's sticking out, but this job should actually cover y'all for a little bit. But some more jobs will probably open up once things calm down in the city a bit. The city's still on edge from what happened 2 days ago.
Takes them a while to recover, doesn't it?
Yeah, not a lot of people used to this stuff since the last battle to ever happen in this city was 15 years ago, and it was still an oddity. But that was an actual battle in the streets, though.
This was kind of a small-scale siege.
Exactly. Unlike anything they've been through, and Advent's all gung-ho about everything, trying to clean up everything in the city they can. So, with you guys here, me and Rawl were talking, I figured it'd be a good time to actually put this unfortunate circumstance that happened some time ago to rest.
You mentioned it was some sort of abandoned house situation?
Yes. So, as Cookie mentioned earlier, there's some freaking weirdos that come through the research ward every now and then. Like right now, at this current moment, they're having some grand meeting about some made-up elven illness right now at the library. Fun stuff.
Why do you say made up?
Because it makes no sense. It's just a lot of people bad at magic, and they're blaming it on some disease.
Would I know anything of this?
Make a history check.
History?
At a safe advantage, because this would be something within your general vicinity you would have heard of before.
Okay. I'm just going to roll them and I'll check out my modifiers real quick. 14 plus... Let's see, history is +2, so 16 total.
You've heard a little bit about it. In particular, one of your professors at the university was considered a specialist in it.
Okay.
In particular, the disorders known as Restrictison. It's essentially this weird phenomenon where some elven families, even in the high elf variety, have been incapable of casting magic. Arcane, to be exact. And you know high elves, generally to some degree, have a little innate talent for magic, but even that innate talent just does not seem to be there for those families. The original family being known as the Seta family. So the term Restrictions was coined from them, and their inability to cast magic. It's been just kind of a niche thing that's always kind of been there. No one has been able to really discern the source of it. But in particular, there's been some scholars that have taken interest in it, and every now and then you'll get the kind of rogue conspiracy theory of you've heard stories from their actually doppelgangers disguised themselves as elven families. There's been rumors of them being some kind of monster in human forms, stuff like that.
Right. So either way, it seems to be also like hereditary.
Yeah, it has been known to be hereditary.
So, I guess would I find it odd that it's from the specific family, but yet it's also here? Or...
Well, what he described is they were having a meeting about it at the library.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, as far as you know, it's only been limited to people of Elven heritage.
Okay.
And that is about all you know about it. You never really looked into the subject yourself. It was just kind of an extra course that only some people took. They just had an extra class period they need to fill up.
Okay.
It's just a humanities credit.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you instantly see Mugen's just dismissing of it, but you also know he's probably never really experienced it firsthand, so it definitely probably sound far-fetched.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to kind of keep that to myself.
Okay. And he's like, so with this, essentially, best way to put it, about a year ago, we been cracking down on cults pretty hard after the incident 15 years ago, and there was one in particular that we found, one of the weirdos that came through here, turned out was a cultist of... What's the name so I don't get it wrong? He was a cultist of Remara.
Cultists of Remara. Okay.
And if anyone would like to make a religion check, they are welcome to.
Anything you know about?
Anyone decent at religion?
I can try.
I have a +3 and advantage on recall information about fae, fiends, or undead.
You'd have advantage on this.
Okay, yeah, I'll roll.
Oh, good. Because I rolled a 2.
19.
19. You definitely have heard of Romara. It's someone. Romara was someone that never really you paid any attention to, but eventually you kind of took notice of when you realized Romara's the patron of brute strength and lycanthropes.
Oh.
There's a lot of mixed rumors about Romaro, but was said to be another warrior in the Age of Chaos. This insane hunter that was said to be obsessed with surpassing the normal human limitations. Was said to be more beast than man in most descriptions of him. And a lot of people theorize that the original lycanthropes are all descended of his bloodline. In particular, his emblem is of a lion.
Okay. Or how to reiterate that.
Alright.
So basically,
Oh, go ahead.
basically, it's the grandfather, progenitor of all lycanthropes.
And Mugen's like, yeah, essentially. Yeah. Good old crazy dude. But yeah, there was this cult that seemed to be in a research war doing experiments on a bunch of unwilling victims. The place was quite the mess. It was, by the time we got there, it was full of just insane stuff. There's a rift in the basement that ended up being closed. The place is haunted as all get out now. With some trouble with some disputes and trying to negotiate people to take care of, we just boarded off the area with the resources we had and decided to hire some people to do it. Congratulations, that is you guys.
So just to get a little bit of information, we are talking straight up ghosts, correct? That's what you're sending us.
Potentially, probably some undead at the least.
Alright.
It wasn't just some crazy worshiper. There was some actual practitioners of magic, so hard to say what's off the table when it comes to this building.
So we're getting a better picture. We're looking at undead and possibly spells. Do you have anything else? You have any sort of force estimation? What would be down there, like the number?
Oh. Like I said, there was a rift in the basement. Things are subject to change by now. It's closed up, but
Yeah.
who knows? There could have been some things that slipped through that we missed.
Only one thing, though. With possible undead, I mean, granted, don't get me wrong, thank you so much for the job. But why aren't the undead hunters really jumping on this opportunity?
Like we said, they're a light of Advent now. We don't want, since they're with Advent, we like to keep it to people that we know and we can trust.
Okay, so they don't even
Get
know
our
about
interests
this.
in it. No, they do not.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
This
Nope.
was...
Go kill
This
undead
was
now.
some... You can soon. We'll get one thing ready. I got a contact in there, at the one of the temples that's gonna be get you a scroll that should dispel most problems you have in the house. But I'm not really great with the religious terminology, being honest. But you should be able to dispel most of it. What he gets you, and yeah, that's the best way I can put it. Is just guild stuff. They're very peculiar about that, and all the guilds are in competition. Even the Platinum Vault, we're on very good terms with the Platinum Vault. We work together on a lot of things, but when it boils down to it, they're still our competition. Which, being Speaking of, I just wanted that to be said, and between you and me, I heard y'all were looking at magic shops, so I wanted to let you know about a personal contact of mine that I know Mistra wouldn't tell you, because it's actually a magic shop in the Advent Ward.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Some crazy old lizard folk that runs a magic shop up there. Enchantment shop, to be exact.
Interesting.
You bring him monster parts, he can make you items out of them.
All right.
Why,
And
Mogan, what happened to your company loyalty?
I'm loyal to Raw, not the guild.
Good answer.
You know me, Amarok. I'm just an adventurer at heart like you guys. Raw offered me this position, and he said he wouldn't trust anyone else to do this job, so I felt like I had to take it. I mean, I get treated better than I probably would, and at my age, it's good that I find some kind of retirement plan.
I ain't gonna fault you for it.
I would hope not. I just gave you a tip I shouldn't have.
it's well appreciated.
Yeah. Essentially, the shop is literally called the Bone Shiv.
Hey,
The lizard folk are very direct.
Lizard folk, you say?
Yeah, crazy old lizard folk runs the shop.
Oh,
So,
I thought you said
careful
wizard
around him.
folk.
Nope. A lizard, not no wizard. He's probably a druid, if I guess.
Wizard of the trees.
That's enough. Anyways, old creature's name's Shanti or something like that.
All right. And should we tell him that you recommended him to us?
He won't care.
Okay.
You've never been around a lizard folk before, have you?
None too pleasant to speak to.
They're about mostly the same. He ain't gonna care.
Fair enough.
His interest is, are you buying something, and if not, why are you still in the shop?
In other words, you're not.
Sorry, you cut out?
Can you hear?
Mm, You're cutting out at the very end.
Oh,
Hello?
you still not hear me?
Yeah, alright, heard you now.
Just said, so you're not getting a discount.
You'd think that discounts would be thrown at you a little bit more if you're charismatic as I am, but yeah, no. People try to give you as less of a discount as possible, actually. There's no hospitality in the world.
Does your
You would
discount
think.
5
And-
finger?
Anyways, the only other tip I can give you, there's a fighting tournament going on a week from now in the Advent Guild. It's supposed to be a big tournament to celebrate the victory over the undead. So
What's the
that's
prize?
something you want to get some training in. Wait, what now?
What's the prize?
Gold, glory, the like, you know.
Alright.
They don't really deal with magical items a lot in Advent.
That'll be fun to practice on some overconfident people that just stabbed a few zombies before we go into the real challenge.
Yeah. Fair enough. Just a fair warning, though, that there's some tough customers in Advent. A lot of times there's some quantity over quality, depending on who you go with, but there's some members of it that definitely give the guild its reputation for as dangerous it is, especially the War Priest. And the other coin holders, they're all fairly competent people as well.
It's always fun to have
Careful. I don't know if you're ready for the coin holders yet, but you should at least be able to get some prizes and some good training in the tournament. Well, anything else y'all need from me?
I think that's pretty much it for us.
Alrighty.
Or somebody else.
I'm good.
You weren't bothering me. I'm just gonna be chilling in my office until something big happens, you know? He just takes a sip of his flagon again. What's wrong with y'all? Why aren't y'all drinking? Y'all too good for day drinking?
I've been holding on to this table the entire time.
Yeah, well, up
Where's
to your
the team?
constitution there.
Well, you said grab a table. So I did.
He just grabs your flagon and takes a long sip of it.
You just... if you can't spend 5 minutes with me, imagine these guys.
I'm used to half-elf shenanigans, just not yours.
No one ever is.
Don't get yourselves killed. Anyways, contact is.
Oh, okay. I didn't know whether you cut out or you were taking notes.
Checking notes. I thought I had it ready, but apparently I did not. I have a lot. Oh, here it is. The Temple of August, the master of the place. The name is Marlon Flint. He's my contact there. Taking this job, you have a scroll waiting on you that should cleanse the place in a vial of holy water.
Marlon Flint for the holy water.
Yeah. It's one of the high priests in the temple of the Temple of August.
Okay. Now, is he saying head there before the job or after the job?
Before the job, you need to scroll to sanctify the place, get all the nasties out.
Mhm.
Essentially, once you cleanse the place, you look it over, know it's good. Set the temple down to basement, have your cleric there, start the ritual. Should cleanse everything.
Sounds easy enough.
Mm.
Cleric has to
We'll see.
do the ritual. Cleric has to do the
It
ritual.
ain't. It's not a full sanctuary. What's it? Oh, that's sanctuary. I'm so bad at this spell casting thing. It's hollow. It's not a full hollow spell, but at least do a temporary. Think of it like a temporary big old pulse of turn undead that'll scare everything that's left away. Then we'll send in some of our own to completely cleanse the place to make sure everything it'll permanently be fine.
Okay. Did you just say that he had a piece of paper or something about that?
Yeah, the priest that he knows does.
Oh, okay.
Contact, yeah. We'll go find the contact, get the holy water and the scroll that concentrates the ground and all that. Take care of everything and get to like the big important location, use the scroll, and then we're done.
Okay, got that.
He worded it a lot better than I did. I'm not even gonna lie. But all right, I'll be
I'm not
safe
telling a
and
story.
go do whatever y'all have to do today.
All right. DM, would I know anything else effective against ghosts or undead besides just hitting them really hard?
The Ghost Slayer subclass that you refuse to go to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to mess with you. You know, holy water will. Mostly what you know of your experience of killing that like, you instantly just look at the twins and go, them.
You too. Yeah.
What do we do now?
Y'all are gonna have fun with this.
Oh yeah, no, ever since he said undead, I've been just like wanting to go kill.
Yeah.
Ruben, I have sort of a question that's kind of, maybe a little bit random, but you said a temporary rift happened, and that's what caused the undead to appear, right?
No, right.
Is there anyone in town very knowledgeable about these rifts?
Don't know him personally, but I assumed there'd be a riftologist at the library, or Platinum Vault would have contact with one of them. Not a main one, an independent one.
Okay, but at least there's some information laying around, maybe in the library at least.
Yeah, potentially. You not being a guild member, you'd probably have to buy a library card to get some info, though.
Library card? How much is a library card?
You think I read?
Oh, but you know how much something costs.
I've never looked to know.
Don't worry, I have a feeling that we should stop there at some point.
Well, I'm already planning on there as soon as you said library.
I'd recommend it. Just don't go
Well,
join into
undead.
Bolton now. Your interests are already tied with the Alchemist Guild.
Oh no, I have no intentions of joining any other guilds.
I mean, technically I haven't joined a guild, so...
Right.
I mean, neither have I,
Yeah,
but I
you're
kind of
affiliated,
worded it.
Just more...
Alright. Yeah, he just goes back to his drinks and doesn't really worry about what you're saying. Right. So y'all are now outside. It's been a little bit now. You see a little bit more people are coming out into the world. There's a little bit more of population out on the streets right now. But other than that, the day is still yours. What we all do.
Should we at least go to the Temple of August first and talk to the High Priest?
Yeah, probably should get that out of the way.
Would we know where the Platinum Vault is in reference to the Temple of August?
So, essentially, how the wards are set up is the Temple Ward is to the north of you, a little bit ways up there, so not too far, but it's a decent little walk away from the library.
And the abandoned house would be where from the temple?
The abandoned house is set up not too far away from the library, actually.
Ooh. What a coinky dink. And we would need some sort of monster parts, to go over to the other magic shop anyways. So we could have to do the job first, if there's any monster parts, but at least we'd have more monster parts than we have now.
You really want a severed rotten hand?
No, but a lizard folk might.
Pickle for all I know. Heck yeah, let's figure something out. We're going to see the priest then.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, making your way to the Temple Ward, as you go further and further north through the way, there's less population of people on this. People on the street studying stuff, and eventually you come to these big, various marble and other large-sized buildings, and not as big as population of people on the street, and mostly the ones you see have various robes and other attire on. Definitely a shift as you get up there. You know a little bit about the Temple Ward, Emrock. You haven't spent a ton of time up here.
Too rich for my blood.
There's a few prominent temples in this area. In particular, there is the temple. There is the Temple of August that's fairly right and center. But to the far, but there's two temples that make up a primary chunk of the other side of it, which are the Temple of Lorelai and the Temple of Cordell. Both of them are bordering the river, with a big bridge going across the river that takes you straight to the Advent Ward. Advent primarily oversees the Temple of Cordell and Lorelai. There is also a fairly sized Temple of Dhaka as well.
DM.
Yes, sir.
How big is the Temple of August here?
It is one of the biggest ones here. As you see, it does not seem to be as populated as the other ones. But also knowing how there's been a bit of a recess in craftsmen in this area, that makes sense. But looking at it, you see this large, unlike most of the buildings that are usually made of marble, it's actually seems to be mostly made of metal. These, I see these metal pillars that are shaping around it. The roof the roof's very well put together. A shingle roof. You see, there's a fairly sized courtyard that seems to have various smithing equipment and tools set up in it. Mostly empty, but there's a few people out there working at it.
Might be something I'll look at later then.
Other than that, the primary temples are... there's a large one of Dhaka that you notice is... When it says temple, it's not a normal building like most things you think. The Temple of Dhaka is actually... seems to be kind of similar to the giant house in the sense that it seems to be a big cluster of trees that all seem to be grown and twined together in this large, longhouse-shaped building. Around it, there's a beautiful courtyard and gardens stretching as far as the eye can see. Seems to be taking up a good chunk of the land in this area. It's the one farthest away, bordering the outside. It seems some of the farms on there's some farms on the outside that all go into it, building a small little farming community in the town. Then there's the Temple of Ator, which is a lot lesser known deity in this area. In particular, you see a big sign next to it that says the Humble Orphanage, and you see it's one of the more active ones. It seems the temple has a pretty big orphanage operation going on. Finally, the Temple of Cordell and Lorelai. The Cordell one, you notice, it's this very kind of military barracks looking temple. You notice it seems to be decorated with weapons and iconography of battles and other big depictions. And the Temple of Lorelai, it's a lot smaller building. Like, it's very small, little chapel-like building, but it is there. So, y'all just want to go straight to Temple of August?
That's where we need to go.
Alrighty. So walk inside the Temple of August. Inside of it, one of the first things you notice is this big display wall that you see there's drawings all completely covering it. There seems to be drawings of various inventions, weapon designs, other creations, tools, carts, the like. You see next to it this a wall of scrolls that seem to all be these collection of some of the possible inventions on this wall. There isn't a whole lot of activity in here, but as you go in, one priest starts to walk up to you. You see a fairly stocky dwarven figure start to walk your way. A fairly neatly trimmed beard with hair tied back in a ponytail. It's like, "Greetings, travelers. How may I, a humble servant, help you?"
Yes, we're looking for Marlin Flint, if you may.
Ah, you found him.
Mugen sent us.
Did he now? Good. And someone will take care of that little building. Where'd they just leave it forever?
That's why we're here.
Well, and he kind of walks over to the side, and he goes to the scrolls on the wall and thumbs through a few, and he's like, "Yeah, here's the one." And he walks back to you. So, I'd say the best place to put that is, I assume the building has a basement. I'd say the basement on the actual ground of it. Make sure the house is pretty well secure. Everything should be out of it. And yeah, there you go. You activate that thing before it's ready. That could act like a homing beacon to all the possible evil forces in there, and that would be quite a mess.
Now, when you say clear it out, as in, how thoroughly are you talking? As in, no furniture even, or just anything with resemblance of life?
I don't think they're asking you to be that thorough.
I'm not asking you.
This
to go
furniture is
spring
tainted.
clean out on it. I am not asking you to go spring cleaning on it, more any signs of undead or evil beings.
Okay, so anything that resembles like it's living but is not living.
Sure, you find a mimic, kill it.
Will do.
Alright. Well, that's it. Other than that, and he reaches onto the shelf again and pulls out a vial of holy water. May the fires of life bless you then. May your weapons stay true and your hand steady.
Thank you, and we'll get this done for you.
It's more from Mugen. He just paid me to get you some supplies, and here I am.
Well,
I even have more holy water if you'd like.
Should we be thorough and get more holy water?
Let's be on the safe side.
That's true. As we've dealt with situations where we thought, what's the worst that could happen? And they end up being a lot worse.
Yeah. Could go wrong is not a good thing to say around us.
Well, two of us do have access to holy magics. I would suggest that we do have another vial of holy water for those who don't.
And I will say, Marcus, that is something you make note of. That is a pretty common phrase in the religion of may your tools hold true and your hands stay steady. It's a pretty common phrase in the religion of August. You've definitely heard your dad say that many a times.
I also, not something that we could do right now, but do you offer silvering services for those who are willing to pay for it?
Oh, we do.
It's something that we could probably look into in the future. It would probably take too long to do it now, but something for later, which would be helpful.
Oh, of course. Yes, and our time of recess, most of the craftsmen have come to this area. So, yes, we can, you have the gold, we can do the silvering.
This is a bit forward, but if this job goes well, do you think that I would be allowed to do the silvering here? I mean, I myself am actually connected to a Temple of August. I was raised in one, and I will actually pull out my holy symbol myself.
Ah, another brother of the Forge. Great, great. We would love to have you here. What temple do you hail from?
Look at my notes. I'm spacing out on the name. I don't have my notes pulled up because I'm so pulling everything up.
That's good.
Have you ever heard of a cleric by the name of Derek?
Derek Locke?
Yes. He's my father, actually.
Well, I'll be. I should have saw it in you. Yes, I originally hail from that temple. He was a bit younger than me, but it's good to hear he's doing alright. Got a whole family.
Yes. We're set up there, and he's currently overseeing some of the services there.
Great, great. I am absolutely thrilled to hear that. Well, Mr. Locke, we would love to have you here.
And thank you. it's been a while since I've been able to do any work while in a temple. Be nice.
Some of the best kind comes from here.
But before we get to that, we do have to handle this job for you, so we should get to that. You said that you were willing to let us have another vial of holy water.
Yeah, as for gold, as we're not in the best financial state as of now, so hate that I can't. Yeah.
Question, would you happen to have holy oil, which would be better suited for coating weapons, but,
Fortunately, that all got bought up fairly quickly by Advent with the recent undead problems, but we've been getting our troops to really try and fill the need for the holy water shortage, and we still have a decent bit laying around.
alright, how much for a vial of holy water?
50 gold.
Fair enough. I'll give him 50 gold once I can pull my stuff up.
Right. I misspoke. I was thinking of the potion price. Their holy water, they're actually selling it for 30 gold.
Alright. I'll do that.
Heck, I'll take one as well.
Alrighty.
Never hurts, but
He passes out the vials too. He's like, thank you, thank you.
And we still got like one for free, right? For the job?
You did.
Definitely handing at least the ritual over to Luna. I guess if either of you want the holy water.
I have to read up on this.
On holy water?
On the ritual.
No, the ritual's a homebrew thing.
Oh no, like she's...
I'm in character. Character saying, I'm
Sorry.
gonna have to read up on this.
accidental activates inside the building here.
I'll also hand you the holy water.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I just hand that over to Maddie.
Me?
No thanks, I'm not thirsty.
Thanks, I guess.
I mean... I don't have that many spells.
True.
Um,
Well, I'm sure it'll come in handy, I guess.
Yeah, I can make undead run away from me.
And I'll just cut them down. As they run away screaming.
Yeah. Marlon's like, well, each of you take care now. All of you, all of you make sure, Marcus, make sure you come back when the job is done, or you need to get the tools ready for the job.
of course.
Ready. So unless you have anything else to say, as you make your way out, you actually, for a second you think, oh, it got dark real quick. But then you actually see, towering above you.
I think you cut out?
It's always at the best of times, towering above you, just silent.
Yeah. Well, let me Maybe that got his attention.
Turns out we're in a fight right now and we just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Turns out,
Probably.
towering above you. Cloud of crows!
I don't think he still doesn't know.
Where's the like typey section on this?
Live reference. There we go.
Okay, and hit all the buttons so I find something.
It's in voice channels.
I was wondering why y'all were ignoring me for a second.
Yeah. That's why I dipped out and dipped back in.
No, my bad.
No, that's all good.
Okay. Anyways, what was the last thing y'all heard?
Towering
above
above you is a...
Yeah.
And then just cut.
Y'all get out to see a 20-foot tall figure towering above you, what seemingly waiting on y'all to move past so we can get into the temple. As
Would I
you, the
recognize
figure
this
you... It is the figure you met yesterday, actually, Amarok.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's the small giant folk. Good to see you.
Howdy.
Yeah. He nods to you like, just here visiting the temple. As the rest of you see see this 20-foot tall fire giant figure. You see he's tall, a brown-skinned, big bushy red beard, has completely shaven head, very broad, muscular arms and shoulders. Has a giant tool belt on. It's like, greetings, everybody.
I look at him, look at Amarok, look back at him, back at down or back up to him again, then over to Luna, then to Marcus, then back at him, then to Amarok.
Hello, my name's Marcus Locke. You a friend of Amarok's?
He's just looking down at you with his bright, piercing yellow eyes, and he's like, well, acquaintances. I'm currently making him a suit of armor. So, whatever you folk would call that.
So you decided to upgrade finally.
Yeah, I figured out that hide doesn't exactly do too well with all the stabbing and such. It's happened.
Ah, yes. Hide is good for hiding, but not for stabbies.
But yeah.
So is this who you visited while we all split up?
Yeah, this was the main thing I was checking in on.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Cyrus. I was like, hold my hand up to him.
He just kind of points his finger down at you in kind of a shape action, like, I am Garo Ample. Just
Very nice to meet you.
the servant of August.
We should bring him along.
I see how it is. See an actual giant, you just want to upgrade. Forget about me, huh?
No, just imagine the other teams seeing a Goliath and a fire giant. They wouldn't even see us.
We could literally hide behind them both.
So everybody get javelins and we can just ride on his shoulders.
You joke.
What?
What were you trying to say?
Well, I mean, this is, well, nice to meet you. So, would I have recognized his name being that of what I was trying to do, of going to, would I recognize the name?
Yeah, I'll say you've definitely heard the name Garo Anvil before.
Are you over at the smithing guild? The Garo?
What's left of it, yes. I am that Garo Anvil.
It is a pleasure to meet you. I'm actually a craftsman myself. I was intending to go by the guild to see it.
Yeah, always good to have new craftsmen. He just kind of stares you over real quick. Compared to the rest of them, you've definitely got the hands for it. Yeah, let's start. You may do fine.
I made this armor myself, and I point to my studded leather, and then also made this, and like I'll show him the short sword that I have on my side. Pretty much
At that
everything.
point, he squats down on his. Yeah.
Can I switch
He
to
squats
Giant
down on
and
his
just
knees.
say, oh,
What do you want to say?
can I switch to Giant and just say, hey, ask him to see his dragon? Not elaborating any further than that.
He kind of cocks an eyebrow, but looks him over. Just my craftsmanship.
Oh, thank
He
you.
stands back up. You have a lot to promise.
I was actually, while we were in the city, I was hoping to go by the guild to see some of their works while I was here.
As a shadow of his former self, the only work really left is the smelted sword itself, but it's there. You want to learn how to smith, this would really be your best bet, son. If you'd excuse me. He just kind of ducks his head and starts walking into the temple.
Emra, why did you not tell me that you met the leader of the smithing guild? And
Well, I kind of had more important issues on my mind at the moment when we met back up.
Ah, yeah, something about churros.
I want to go get some more of those later.
Ooh, could you show me where you got those?
Yes.
Excellent.
So, I guess never thought I'd see you geek out so hard.
Hardcore
Me?
fangirl.
Yes.
Him?
I mean, yeah, that's the literal leader of one of the best smithing guilds, or I guess is still the current leader of that smithing guild. They're legendary crafters. If the only other place that I've smithed is at the academy or at or part of the church, I've never actually gone to the guild myself.
Pretty cool that you got to meet him then.
Yes, I would actually love to go there once we're done with this job, but we have to do the job first. Business first.
Yeah. You can go geek out more.
Yeah.
So, are we heading to the house or the library first?
You need to go to the library first?
I mean, the only reason I would even suggest is because a rift caused this mess. Maybe we can at least ask what happened.
True.
But, also, is anybody near us right now?
Currently, no. There's a few people working in the yard, but other than that, the temple doesn't have a lot of activity going on at it.
Okay. I'd also pretty much. So Cyrus's tone is going to change a little bit to a more serious tone. So one thing I am worried about, though, we are dealing with undead, and the last time we dealt with undead, well, a skull was used as a component for a ritual that we don't know how they did it. So be careful, you two, looking at Luna and Maddie.
I think it'd also help if no one takes any souvenirs with them. And I look pointedly at Marcus.
I've learned my lesson about dealing with ancient magics. I won't be taking any more evidence with me. It seemed like a good plan at the time.
Especially no creepy heads.
Once we find out how they can do it, it might be a different story. Actually, wondering.
Well,
No.
at least from what we were told, one way that they do it is that if the more of a connection they have to something, the easier it is for them to speak through it. So as long as we don't take anything that's directly connected to them that they know that we took.
Connected. Interesting.
Take nothing.
Might need to look into the Feywild while we're there. Sorry, I am rambling on.
You've got your own agenda, I can tell that.
So you want to go to this library before we go to the building. That would be good. I mean, it will let us not go into the situation blind. Also, question. Okay, so I know that both of you have ways of putting magic into your weapons. Does anyone, I also know that Cyrus does. What about you, Emerald? Do you have any magical weapon on you currently?
Not on me, but my blood is literally magic.
Well, okay. I was just making sure there is a way that I could remedy that if you wanted to use your weapon. I could have a way of making it magical for a time. But if you have your own ways, then that will do.
You mentioned that. The only thing is, I'm only able to currently imbue, I don't know, magic that disrupts one's mind. But if you are, as you say, undead and you don't have much of a mind, there's limitations to what I could do.
Well, I could make your weapon magical for an hour. It would be useful.
Might have to take you up on that. Perhaps after we finish our errand, I guess. That we take most advantage of it as possible.
Of course, I wouldn't do it until we got there, and we were about to start the ritual.
And
But
I don't know if you also caught on to the reason we are going to the library is because there was a rift that caused the undead to show up in the first place. And there seems to be a common occurrence. Everywhere we're going, there's more and more rifts. And there's riftologists at the library. And plus we might be able to get a book or something about rifts or something, I don't know.
I mean, so far, whenever we've gone into the had one of these rift shows up, it's been some elemental creature showing up, or except for the time it was those bugs, but they still came from the earth plane. So if these are undead, I wonder where they came from.
There are more dimensions than just the elemental plane, my friend.
I'm steadily figuring this out. Extraplanar travel is a bit out of my wheelhouse of expertise, but
I mean, we can at least figure more out on the way. Eventually, I figure we're going to be exposed to more and more rifts. I doubt this is just coincidence at this point.
Well, let's go make sure that we are ready and do our homework.
Mhm.
To the library then, everyone.
To the kingdom of knowledge.
Alright. So, with that being said, I'd say that's a good time to take a break as y'all are making your way to the library. As we are picking up now, we are coming into the party, going to the library, run by the Platinum Vault Guild to see what information they can find on just various things they're looking into. So as you make your way back through the Temple Ward into the back into the Research Ward, it's overall pretty simple walk as you get back, and as you get there to the Grand Library, it's a huge place. In particular, you see this large fenced-off building. You see a decent amount of people sitting outside reading. There's decent little chatter going on. People taking notes and researching. As you make your way inside, you're a bit overwhelmed by what you see in the inside. As you look to the inside, there is books as far as the eye can see. There's grand shelves lining the walls.
I'm home.
It's a wide open place for research everywhere. Open tables are out with students and older folks, and even some adventurers seem to be in there just scouring books, taking notes, and researching. And also, you notice there is a balcony section up top that seems to have even more there. But you see, there's an actual gate to the upstairs area that seems to be blocked off from people entering it.
That's exactly where Luna zeroes in on. She's like, "These are books that they're not supposed to go to. Exactly where I want to go."
Oh, academia. Books, as far as the eye can see. But not enough time to read them all.
You know, it's been a while since I've seen this many books. Way too long, actually.
Well, no, I haven't seen this many, but I did see a lot. Hasn't been that long since I've been out of the academy.
I mean, I had a high elf for a mother. So you can imagine.
Not really, since I don't know, but okay.
Okay, we have to zero in. We have knowledge that
As you are having this conversation here, we would like you to keep the idle chatter to a minimum, especially standing in the foyer of the establishment.
Our apologies. We're looking to actually purchase a library card, if you may.
As you all look over, you see at the counter next to it, you see this small human male, very frail, very pale, does not look like he gets outside much. You see he has an open book currently that he has a bookmark in. That looks like y'all rudely interrupt him from reading. He's like, hello there. And you see a name tag up in front of him that simply says Melvin Worm. You see he has a big, thick pair of bifocals on. He has kind of shaggy brown hair, little freckles. Looks a little bit disoriented, but he's trying to talk to you. He has a library card. What kind of library card? Are you students or just regular adventurers?
They're adventurers.
Okay, you need the adventurer's pass. Okay, well, the library card requires a 5 gold donation per month to keep your membership, and with that, you have access to reading any of the books in the library. You just have to return them as you leave.
I did have a question about that. So, if it's a membership where we have to pay it, is there a way of paying it while we're out on the road, or do we have to keep coming back here? Are you connected through the Messengers Guild, perhaps?
Yes, gold can be sent in through the Messengers Guild.
Excellent, actually. That's perfect.
Just slam down the 5 gold and I'm like, take my money. I want books.
Okay. You have a lovely
Give me
time
that
researching,
knowledge.
ma'am. I hope you.
Yes, I too
Maddie,
would like
knowing
one.
her sister doesn't trust it one bit, you should look at her like,
Well, sure. Do you need our names for the cards? My name's Marcus Locke.
I do. Okay. Marcus Locke, and your name is Miss Excitable Missy.
Luna Mila.
Luna. Oh, okay. And just the two of you are getting your cards?
Oh, I am too.
I will too.
3.
Alright. And he gets a quick description of each of you, takes your gold, counts it, then he quickly just pulls out these small little cards, and you see he gets like a stamp that you see has some arcane runes on it, and he quickly stamps all the cards and hands it back to you. And each of you get a card that has your name on it and a small little portrait of each of you on it, just kind of a rough picture of you.
Ooh, fancy.
Efficient.
Yes, we take great pride in our magical items at the Platinum Vault Guild.
Well, we did have a question. We were looking for books in particular. We were wondering if you had any books on perhaps rifts, like understanding basic knowledge of them, I guess.
Oh, we got plenty of those. We got theories, we got research, we got reports of various rifts throughout time.
Well, I guess at the very moment we need to know more about a rift at a certain building nearby.
If you would like that, there is actually a newspaper, newspaper rack back there where you can get newspapers for throughout time. So that would probably be a good thing you do. Look up to date and find a story surrounding it.
Okay.
Also, book on like baseline undead, just understanding the baseline undead.
Okay. Yeah, we should have some stuff for that. Are you wanting me to pick some of these books out for you, or what? I have a very good memory of where most of these things are.
Yes, actually, if it wouldn't inconvenience you too greatly, we don't know exactly where the books are.
Oh, I am willing to help a fellow pursuer of knowledge. Just be respectful while you're here.
Cyrus puts his fingers like he's zipping his mouth.
Okay. He stands up and he's like, "Alright, well, what you want?" And he hurries off fairly quickly, actually, and he is able to navigate his way through the rolling holes pretty quickly to the point y'all nearly lose him for a second. But he comes back with an armful of books, and he's like, "Alright, we have Undead and Why They Tick right here, and we have Undead and Why They Shouldn't Tick. We also have newspapers from around that time period. Here you go. Make sure you sort them back the way they were. Those are a mess to keep organized. There is all. Was there anything else?
Unless
You
someone
wouldn't
else
happen
had
to have any
something.
folklore crow, would you?
For what area? Or what mythos, what race, what religion?
Just anything to give us more of an.
Just about the crow, the hag.
Oh, okay, thank you. You gotta be specific. There's a lot of interesting stuff out there, you know? The Crow, yes, I do believe there's a book of urban legends about her somewhere. Is that all?
While we're on the
Her
topic,
sisters.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that can-
Oh,
Just out of curiosity, because we've heard that she has sisters, supposedly.
yes. Hags do normally come in threes, so yeah. All right, I will make the rounds. And that one he's gone for a little bit actually. But he does eventually come back with a fairly dusty book actually. He's like, this is unfortunately there's a lot of speculation about them. This is actually a rare case in a book. It's more of a journal actually. This is someone's personal experiences and records of dealings with the said creature, since most of the word about the crows actually spread through word of mouth, as it turns out.
As he's saying this, I'm like pulling it out of his hands. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Y'all have a lovely time. And he just kind of moves on back to his desk.
I would suggest that we find somewhere off where we can read quietly, and he'll be like whispering that since we were pretty loud when we came in.
Yeah. But you do notice there is actually, looking around, you notice that, like some libraries you've been in, there is actually small little research rooms that you can reserve.
Oh, one other question real quick. How much would it be to reserve one of those rooms?
Oh, with the card, 1 gold.
I'll give him a gold.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Do not bring any drinks in there with an open lid, and no eating in it.
Fair enough. Well, let's do our research then. So, how many books in total do we have? We have the 2 undead books, and the newspaper, and the hag book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, all these will be investigation checks to look up research. I will allow advantage if 2 of you would like to tackle one, but yes, y'all got some breathing.
Okay, who is the least investigative?
Have +1.
Now, DM, I have advantage on investigation checks to recall information about Fae, fiends, or undead. Would this apply to this?
Since it's recalling information, I'm going to say no, since this is you
Okay.
researching.
Yeah.
Good try, though.
I have a +2.
I got +6. Marcus has me beat, though.
Yeah, I think you two are good on your own.
Well,
Eddie,
it's
what do you
not
have?
Well, she's gonna be looking up undead stuff as well. And probably
I'm gonna
looking
look
up
up Hags.
Book of Lester. The deity.
Okay.
You had read what Dad told us to read. You'd already know all that.
Look. Okay, I had better things to do at the moment.
Uh-huh.
So, what
I had
book
to
are we
build
trying
up my strength. Do not see these muscles.
Them gains.
Just take the book of the hag that I had in my hand and just kind of bop her on the head with it, and then go back to reading.
I love here is this 100-year-old journal. Please be careful with it. Let me bop my sister with it.
But is there any one book that we're trying to focus down on the most? The hag one seems interesting if it's a journal, but
Oh yeah, didn't we get any like just general riffs book or no? Or is it just the newspapers?
No, I think we just have the newspaper.
Oh yeah, you were kind of said you were wanting to look at one rift in particular, so that's
Yeah.
what he got you.
Yeah, because I don't want to spend like the entire day in here. Because we do have a job we have to go to.
Somebody of it does.
Oh yeah, we just need to finish the job, I guess.
And start it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well we got the holy
We're
water
in prep
and
phase.
the ritual to cleanse it. We're halfway there. It was a 2-task system.
So speed reading.
Well,
And we can come back.
I'll give. Well, I'll look at one of the undead books. If someone wants to look at the other.
I guess I'll work on the
I'll look
newspaper.
at whatever anyone else is not looking at.
I'll look at the newspapers, but I'll probably need help.
Probably need help as well.
Oh, well, actually, I'm more concerned with the hag since that's the long-term thing.
Yeah.
I would be willing to help with the hag book then.
I need the help. Oh, yeah. Do we both roll, or he just roll, or what?
I'll allow it up to you if you wanted to. You roll individually, or two of you. One of you just roll twice. Okay. You're doing that.
I just want us just both to roll.
Okay.
Asking
If
Marcus.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, I'm fine with both of us rolling.
Okay.
Okay.
So, all right, and Amarok and Cyrus make your investigation checks as well. And Maddie, you go outside and you find a book on section on religion fairly easily, and yeah, you find a book on Lester.
Yay!
Yeet.
I will read it.
All right, so you make an investigation check as well.
Not very good. 7 for me.
Alrighty, this ain't gonna go very well.
It's been a while since I've read books, okay?
Okay, so first off with Cyrus, you open up the newspaper and do a quick flip through of it. But you get distracted by this fat little cat on the newspaper. It's just kind of cathartic to watch. He hates a lot of things. He hates Mondays. He loves eating pizza. He's a nice little thing.
I mean, Cyrus is easily distracted by things that amuse him.
It's in character, but dang it, Cyrus.
You just kind of laugh, just hating Tuesdays.
You're like,
Or just second Mondays.
I'd actually like to adjust my posture from heavy studying on the table to lean back, cross my leg up a little bit like a dad reading the Sunday newspaper.
A pipe materializes.
I'm minor illusion a pipe.
There we go. Alright.
I got a pipe somewhere.
But it has to be
Alright.
fake.
Alright, Maddie, you've always had trouble concentrating on books, but you do look over, you do get a little decent reading in the Book of Lester done. You see, it seems to kind of be just a general prayer book on Lester, just talking about some of the stories on him. So, Lester was already an extraplanar being. In particular, Lester was a planetar that came down when the Blood War spilled onto the material plane to help guide the mortals and teach them how to fight against them. And with them, he rallied this group of mortals, and all together they were able to fight back the Horde and push it back beyond the Veil. Though it did permanent damage to the fabric of reality in that area, he was able to keep the full-on war back. There's a but then it gets more into the the theories on him, and that's where it really starts to lose you. There's a lot of different theories on what happened to Lester toward the end and what really happened to him, but he is a deity of stars mostly. But it seems he was already a divine being, but after gaining such a following on from his battle conquest, that's what promoted him to his deity status. And with that, the next one down is Marcus with over 20. What book were you reading again, Marcus?
I was helping Maddie with the hag book. Just
You're helping Luna with the mag book.
Yeah, I was helping Luna with the hag book because she was asking for help, but we did our own rolls.
All right. And Amarok, what did you?
I had the undead, I guess.
Right. So looking at Undead, what makes them tick? It's a fairly simple book, really, about the Undead. It seems to honestly be a pretty bare-bones, basic, simple book on them. But looking through it, you see a lot of stuff you do know, but one thing to interest you in particular that sets off is like, well, in most cases, there is examples of normal zombies or skeletons being raised. There is outlying cases that have been detailed throughout history. While it's easy to forget a commoner undead, what happens when, say, an adventurer gets raised? Different circumstances have been known to happen with that said cases. Sometimes they show up in more powerful manifestations, sometimes greater undead, more powerful ghouls, ghasts, and the like. But generally the higher undead is where things get really tricky. The vampires, the revenants, the death knights, the like. Generally, that adventurers' bodies have been known to be put through very tight security when it comes to where they're buried. So necromancers have a harder time finding their bodies and use them for nefarious purposes. And reading through it, you learn a little bit about Death Knights, Revenants, and vampires, and particularly Revenants, something y'all are a little more familiar with.
One of us more so than others.
Yeah. Revenants you've known to always be formed by when someone is murdered and has extreme hatred in their heart. Sometimes that hatred can last beyond the grave. And instead of rising as a ghost, there's a strange occurrence what'll sometimes be raised back in their normal body. There's theories that say being buried in a shallow grave will do this, or not being buried at all. But generally they're an undead that retain any magic or powers they may have had in their previous life. But their body only lasts for a year, and then they fade away. If they don't get their revenge during that time, they just simply fade.
I'm just gonna be staring at the book, reading that, just cut my eyes up at Marcus, just under my breath. Gonna have an interesting year.
Yeah. Which you also know, you're not sure if that revenant was raised through natural means or not, so it's up in the air how that could go. And finally with y'all, instead of it being general information, it does start out straight as a notebook. As you look through, as you open the book, you see the title page say, I, Byron Langsford. No, not Langsford. I, Byron Langley. I tell my tale of unfortunate circumstances. My village was raised a long time ago by these mysterious creatures from the woods. I remember there being a being amongst them. This sweet, oddly shaped, animalistic-looking woman. I refused to believe she was human, and I've spent my life looking for her. Names have popped up often of the Crow, Amelia. Those names have come up often. Animal, the Deathbringer, the Omen. The one thing is common is generally when she appears, generally is said to have a host of undead or animals with her, even undead animals at times. I've looked through personal accounts over time to try and find out more, and it seems all signs point to she is a hag. She's from the Feywild, has 2 siblings. They say some of the best things come in 3s, but I can't imagine this does. Oh. You flip a few more pages in and say, and it says, I talked to this old medicine man from one of the old nomadic tribes, back when they still moved around like that. Apparently they had some agreement with the, with them. They can be bargained with, though that agreement was they had to give the forefinger of a member of the village every time they wanted to pass by a certain road. I was dumbfounded. I asked why he would do such a thing. The medicine man simply replied, better lose a forefinger than lose your life. What would they need that part for? You flip a little bit more in, and it says, I was interested in this compromises, so I was looking for more examples of it. This journey took me all the way to the Rogue States. I've not had the best time here. I've already been mugged a few times, but luckily they never thought my personal readings would be worth taking. So, I got this notebook and I must continue this story. Talking to some of the tribesmen that have been willing to talk to me, it seems they have a bit better relationship with these beings. Not as in a servant role, but in a similar donating sense that the medicine man from earlier found himself in. Though I've been told mixed things about what the offerings are. I hope none of them are true. And finally, a few more pages in, you see there's been a crow that's been following me for days. Every time I look around, I feel there's this shimmering around me. The world around me isn't as it seems. I feel I'm being drawn to the shimmering. What does this mean? Am I been noticed? You then flip back and you just see the notebook stops abruptly, but there's one last page in the book, and it just simply says, there's a bright light in the Shade Grove Forest. There is only light in the Shade Grove Forest. How did the Shade hide all this light? And then finally, just a final 3 words at the bottom of the page say, it beckons me. And that is the end of the notebook.
So, and that last part was, there's a bright light in the Shade Grove Forest. There's only light in the Shade Grove Forest. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh.
I said but it must not came through. I'm sorry.
So, since we have the book, so there was nothing that seemed hitting about the writing or anything, like, since this was a personal journal.
Didn't seem like it. It seemed everything was pretty straightforward.
So this person wrote about the last
Yep.
events before they disappeared.
As you looked into it, you noticed that the writing went from pretty formal for what you assume was a commoner from getting the context clues that a person he is. But his writing style seemed to get more erratic and messy by the end of the book.
Seems like this person might have been losing their mind at the end. That's what I'll say to what I'll say to Maddie. No, say to Luna.
They look
So
alike.
confused.
Been with our character for so long.
Hey, it only happens to me every now and then.
They even have different color hair now.
I mean, they also had different armor, but you know.
But so they are. This person
I
is
was
losing their mind.
Crow was probably driving him mad. He was singing a crow.
And then he went into the Shade Grove Forest and wrote this last passage. So I wonder who found this then. This had to be left behind.
Where's the Shade Grove Forest? Does that even sound familiar to me?
That is the place where the Temple of the Four Elements actually is.
Oh.
And also where all signs have pointed at where the where all the hags seem to be.
Oh, great. Okay.
Something that we might have to check in on at some point. We have more signs that, I mean, this person potentially went messing in that forest, but that also means that someone found this journal, possibly in the forest. And DM, when they pulled this journal down, it was like there was dust on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no telling how long ago. Were there any like dates in the book? Like, did they like date the pages?
Looking at the dates, you notice that this book was written about 70 years ago. And
So-
you look at the very back, where back in olden books where they actually had to date and write who was checking out these books, you notice you guys are actually the first people to ever check out this book.
That's surprising.
It feels like another pull at fate here again. But as like they were reading, Marcus would have been taking notes, and I took notes, but Marcus would have been taking notes so that we have information for when we have to give this book back. But so we have another lead pointing us in the direction of the forest. Wonderful.
Okay.
Do any of you know where we can get lasagna?
Cyrus, what are you reading?
Oh, Gruffy the dog. And his friend the cat.
Really? I want to see.
That's not what you're supposed to be reading.
And just like that, we lost them.
Mm. I do wish to come to this place
Around this
again.
point, you just hear Maddie's stomach grumble as you realize it's gotten about 3 o'clock now.
Oh, we probably need to go to those magic shops.
Or
Good food.
as much as I am for food, we also have to deal with this before dark time, preferably.
Oh
We
yeah.
don't have to do it today.
But the matter is this: do we really want to let this linger? I feel like it may get worse if we just do nothing right now.
Well, how long's it been like this?
Over a year.
Okay.
I think we hit the shop tomorrow, but I do suggest that if we're going to be in it for a while, we should grab some food and then head over. I prefer, even though this has been this way for a while, I prefer we go ahead and handle it for them.
Maybe we'll get more pay out of it if we do it, you know, as soon as we're given the job to.
Expedient.
I mean, we did our research. We know a little bit about the undead, and a bonus with this journal. So, I say that we eat something, ready ourselves, and do this tonight. If everyone else is on board with that.
No time like the present. I like get the newspapers back in order from where they were.
Wait, we're gonna go do this tonight instead of like during the day?
I prefer to get it as soon as possible. So before it gets
We're gonna do it
nighttime.
now before it gets dark.
Yeah.
Before it gets dark. It's still it's not dark yet. If we can get this done before it gets dark, we'd be better off.
Okay, let's go.
But we do need food in our bellies. Might there be a cart nearby?
We can find a street vendor.
Yeah. Maybe some churros.
Something quick. And hearty, I wouldn't suggest a churro as a dessert.
5
Something that you-
churros.
That's more dessert.
But more filling.
Get your meat in a stick.
Ooh, or lasagna. I've never had
You really
lasagna.
trust like straight lasagna though.
I mean, we haven't eaten since this morning. I don't trust anything.
Well, something that we can eat quick, hopefully on the way. So let's find a street vendor and eat as we go.
I'll like grab a thing of toast like an anime girl late for school. Rushing to this abandoned house. Their flasks of holy water.
So all of you go outside and just look for look for a street vendor, and you see as you go up and you set your books onto the return pile, you just hear Melvin say, "Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you all enjoyed your time. Feel free to come back whenever you like. We are open until 9 p.m.
Oh, we will. Once we're less busy, we'll definitely come back.
Have a good day to you.
Okay. All right, y'all too. Hope you found everything you needed. And as you guys make your way out, you see a simple vendor selling sandwiches outside.
Perfect.
A sandwich
It's
and go.
As you go outside, you see this portable grill set up, and you see they're currently grilling a bunch of cheese and meat sandwiches of lettuce. Here. Come for a sandwich.
Ah, yes. 1 sandwich, please.
All right, 3 silver.
Ah, I flick him 3 silver.
Thank you. Silver for, a sandwich for each of you.
Yeah, man.
So it's 3 silver per sandwich.
Yes.
I'll have 2, and I'll give him 6 silver.
Thank you.
Give him the money and get the sandwich.
Here's some expense, which is
When you are hungry,
All right.
it's worth it.
And I mean, it's food truck food.
Yeah. You're paying for the experience.
The convenience.
So all of you get your sandwich, get it eaten, and start to make your way to the location that Mugen told you about. And once you get to the house, it definitely sticks out to you. As you notice, most of the houses that you've seen are pretty well taken care of. In particular, there's an actual crew that comes through and casts prestidigitation on all the houses every morning. You notice this place is pretty run down. As looking the house over, it's in pretty rough condition. The house itself, looking at the outside of it, the house itself, you see there's a gate that sticks out for a little bit. There seems to be kind of caution tape covering the bars. All the windows seem to be boarded up from the outside. The door itself is boarded up with just a crudely painted "Do Not Enter" on the outside. It seems to be this old, kind of manor-like building, but a decent-sized mansion. You see it as 2 stories from the outside. And as you're approaching, there is some guards stationed there, and there's like, one clearly recognizes you as like, Amarok and Company. Good to see you. So you took the job after all.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we've got some.
See, good. We really shouldn't even be here, but we gotta kind of stay here to make sure you local kids don't come in or anything like that, you know?
Of course. You don't want anyone else getting hurt coming here.
Right. Now, have fun. And he pulls out a key and sticks it in the gate and opens, and as soon as it does, it creaks bad as it opens. And as y'all go in, he shuts the gate behind you and's like, have fun, we'll be out here to let y'all out.
Hey.
So a 2-story building that we have to clear out.
Right. Before we go in, though, we should have a look out here, just in case. And as we go in as well. I actually want to, look around to see if anything, it's odd. Actually, I'll burn a use of it since we're here. I will actually pull out my screwdriver and click the button on the side and cast Detect Magic as I'm looking around.
Alright. Roll a investigation check.
Alright.
26.
You have an investigation, man.
It's my one thing.
You have a few things, but okay.
I have a few things, but this is my best thing.
Alright. Sherlock Holmesing people passively. So you get a good look around, and seems pretty standard for the most part. The place is fairly run down, and in particular, one thing you notice is strange to you. You see a few holes on the side of the building every now and then. Looking at the holes in particular, it kind of reminds you of someone punching through the wall. Not from the inside.
So literally someone punching out from the inside of the building.
Yeah.
So
Looking around, you see other kind of scrapes and bruises where it seems like things were fighting out here. But the strangest thing you notice is one little patch in particular. It's and you recall a time where you were hunting with the centaurs, and they pointed out scratch marks on the ground where wild boars were digging for truffles. It's very long past when it was dug there, but there's a patch in the grass that kind of reminds you of it.
Actually, I want to go over to that patch while I still have Detect Magic up, and to see if anything's pinging.
Nothing is pinged off your Detect Magic so far.
The rest of you, look at this. Oh, sorry.
Okay. And as you do, you get close to it, but your Detect Magic kind of pings slightly for a second, and you turn around quickly, and there's nothing. You just look around, and all you see is this empty courtyard with your allies a little bit away from you.
And that Detect Magic, is it still pinging as I'm looking in that direction?
No, it is not.
And for a second, what type of magic did I catch off of it?
You're not sure, actually. You just felt something.
I'll walk back over to the group. I don't want to alarm any of you, but I did sense something just now for a moment.
Oh, good. What was it?
Very quick. I don't know. It's very quick when I went over there to look at that patch on the ground. So we might want to go ahead and ready ourselves. I'll actually go ahead and bring out Draco and have him just sitting on my shoulder. Cyrus, I can help you with your weapon if you want.
Ah, yes, thank you. I draw my rapier.
And he pulls out a wrench and kind of lightly taps the hilt of your rapier, and then it faintly lights up with these different runes for a sec, and then kind of dull back down. There you go. For an hour, it's magical.
I appreciate
And just for your sake, outside of character, just for your sake, it is considered magical, and you get a +1 to hit and damage.
Oh, cool, thanks.
Okay, so all of you go up to the door, and how do you and all of you are just kind of standing outside it. It's just uneasy feeling of just unknown coming across you. But how do y'all handle this?
Well, I did have a question. So the part that was scratched up on the ground, is it I could tell that something may have dug there? Because I would actually kind of want to check that out first, if possible.
Make a survival check. You're not really able to discern what the origin of this is. It reminds you of that, but you're not sure because you're just kind of well, that was dug there. Where did a wild boar come from?
I will bring that up to the group, that there seems to be a patch that was scratched up by something over here. And then I'll make my way to the door then.
How deep of a scratch is this? Is it literally just topsoil moved out of the way? Is it something actually digging into the ground?
You feel free to make a survival check.
Alright. Hey,
At 20.
Yeah, looking into it, you see the way it's dug, the grooves in it. It seems like something with tusk actually did dig this.
What I'm asking is it something trying to actually dig a tunnel down? Because we're aware that there's a basement, and where this house is on lockdown. Is it something trying to tunnel down to something down below to get it out?
No, it more seems like they were just kind of looking around, like a boar digging for mushrooms, or truffles.
And then it's of no concern.
I mean, we're inside of a city, so that is weird. I do want to check the door for traps before we walk in, just in case.
Another investigation check. $26. Door itself does not seem to be trapped.
Seem?
So that should be fine. Then you start tapping around the boards, and you tap your foot on the welcome mat, and as soon as you do, your foot sinks.
I pull my foot back. Or can I pull my foot back in time?
Yeah, you see the. Yeah, you do. You look and you now see the you see the welcome mat just kind of dug in a little bit. And just and you just see it vaguely saying real faded letters, "Welcome to our home." But you see something else faded there. You see a deeper red to the above it saying "Go away." Then it says "Home."
So, it hasn't been 10 minutes, has it, or has it?
It has. Yeah, it's been 10 minutes by now.
Alright, just because I noticed that, I'll click on my screwdriver. I'll use another use to do detect magic.
Okay. You still don't feel anything magical.
Okay. So I'll pull out my thieves' tools and I'll see if I can get a better look and try to maybe disarm it if it's a trap.
Right. So you pull it back and you see right below it is a pressure plate. Like the what? And you follow it up and you look above you and you notice the boards above you seem to be kind of very peculiarly set there. And you kind of get the idea that this pressure plate might have caused something above you to release.
Alright, no one stand here. We can leave this here, or we could take it down, but as long as you don't step right here, you should be fine. If you want, I could try to disarm it.
I mean, if you, I'd be best.
I mean,
Wait,
if
because we have to run out of the house.
True, just in case we have to leave in a panic, I will try to disarm it. Everyone stand back,
Okay.
just in case.
Make a thieves' tools check.
So I'm proficient in that, so I get to use my proficiency, plus it uses my dex, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
While he does that, I'm just going to minor illusion some popcorn.
Did it? Okay. So that's plus... That would be a 19 total.
Okay. Oh, jeez. So you just ease the pressure plate up, and you just stick a blade under it, just feeling where feeling where it is. And you just think, okay. Disarm trigger, just ease down the plate to where it's not going to snap it, and just click. You ease off the trigger and ease down the plate, and nothing happens. Seems like you've disarmed the plate.
Seems like.
Now, if we want
Nothing
to,
happened yet.
and just for my own sake, just to make sure, stand back, and then when everyone stands back, if I disarm the plate, I'll then take like a rock and throw it on the I'll take out like a wrench and throw it on the plate, see if it goes off since I disarmed it.
It's you. Ding, 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 ding. And it's quiet for a second. For a second more. And it stays quiet.
Okay. I'll pick up my wrench. Good. So we can leave in a hurry without worrying of getting caught by this trap. But since this is here, that does mean there's probably more on the inside. So we have to be cautious as we move through.
Warm welcome, I see. They really wanted visitors.
Well then, I'll check the door. Is the door locked?
The door doesn't... you push on it and the door seems stuck for a second, but you also realize it's been boarded shut, so it looks like you'll have to pry it open.
Alright, I'll pull out my crowbar then.
Alright. So make a strength check with advantage.
I'll just keep eating fake popcorn.
And reroll for advantage. Slightly, that's better. Still not great.
You see Marcus, after expertly disarming that, he just wedges in his crowbar, and you're pushing on it, and you see there's a pretty wide gap growing, but it's just not going all the way.
Hey, Emerald, can you help me out real here?
As he's prying on it, can I just reach over him and help push?
Yeah, make an athletics roll as well.
Let it. Oh god.
So
wow.
you push on it as well, and you realize, man, this door's stuck.
Quick question,
How did
everyone.
you-
Quick question, everyone.
Why is it doors? Always doors.
Did he say that we had to keep this place intact?
I would imagine they want to keep it mostly intact, but if you can get this door open, because it's pretty stuck.
Alright. I'll take
Hey,
my...
do you want to try?
Hmm?
Said Maddie, do you want to try?
Yes, redeem yourself for the
Sure,
gate.
why not?
If you want to keep trying,
Maddie,
go on.
Maddie, make an athletics roll.
Okay.
14.
With all it clustered together, you just lean up to it, and you're just like, and you just lean against the door and just give it a good push, and Marcus and Amarok nearly stumble a bit into the door as the door just pops right open.
Ooh, it was
Ah.
stuck.
Well, duly noted. Future reference, we'll be relying on your muscle for opening doors.
See, I told you I have the game.
I honestly think that you may be better used with this than I am, and I'll hand her my crowbar.
Do you accept
Yeah.
the legendary crowbar?
Yeah.
Alright. For prying open stuff, you now have advantage on checks for that.
Oh, yay.
Okay. All right. So, that being said, you all walk into the pitch black foyer of the building. There's a little bit of light pouring in from the door, but other than that, it seems to be completely dark.
What would I see, I guess?
With your advanced dark vision, you see this small little enclosed room. There does not seem to be a lot to it, just simple entrance hall that you'd see in most buildings of the like. You see there's a small there's a small rack to your right for hanging up cloaks and putting your shoes down. See a little bench to sit there and actually tie them. You see some boots and some other items still laying there, but nothing too out of the ordinary. That seems to be going on in this front little room. And at about 20 foot ahead of you, you do see a shut door leading forward, and that's the only door you see.
Which I guess with dark vision, I would see like black and white, or like sort of like gray tones, not exactly full color, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that I'm looking into darkness then. So, do we need to shine some light for Amrock here?
Yeah, forget that he can't see in the dark.
I'll just rub and salt in that wound.
Don't worry, if we have enough downtime, I will possibly be able to remedy that while we're here, but not today. So I do suggest that we, hold on a sec, and like, I'll pull out a like like a little tube, and it looks like it has like a small version of Draco's face on the front of it, and there's like a button on the back. Here, use this.
And what is this?
It's a little bit of a light.
The metal tube.
Do you press it?
I was never instructed there was a button, so I'm just looking at it like, okay, what is this?
No, I said there was a button on the back.
Oh, then yes, I will push the button.
And
So,
you do. You go ahead.
Yeah, like what it'll do is the mouth will open up on the front, and like a little light will come out and start shining.
That's the exact thing I was going to describe. I'm glad you had the same idea as me. I thought that's what you're going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have this little beam of light shining out now.
I will tell you this, it's about as bright as a torch.
Okay. It's a literal
So it's
torch
not-
flashlight.
Yeah, it's a torch, but it's a flashlight.
Is it omnidirectional or is it just a beam?
It's like surrounding you like a torch, actually. So it's not one direction.
So is there a way to fix that? Well, heck, I'll just... As we're inside now, I don't have to keep this a secret. I'm gonna go ahead and transform.
Alright. You go straight into your animal form.
Stowing halberd on back. Claws ready here. Use
Actually-
free hand.
Actually, I may have something to help with the focusing the light. I'll like take a rag and like where the light's kind of like spilling out, I'll try to see if I can maybe like focus it in one direction more with like the rag.
Okay. Alright. So with that being said, what would y'all like to do? Would y'all like to move in further?
You said there's only one door, right?
Yep.
I would rather take point so I can look for more traps just in case. Also, while we're in here, I wouldn't suggest we get too far away from each other since there could be more traps.
All right. Traps.
And how about
Want me to
we
cast Find
all
Trap?
enter the...
Wait, you can just do that.
Oh yeah, I kind of can, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
If you find a trap, I'll try to disarm it. Then
120
Whoops.
feet range?
Yes.
Dang, okay.
I just roll a d20 for that, right?
I'm reading a spell right now.
Alongside
You're
cast
aware
this
of-
spell.
Okay. So, it is you sense any trap within within range that is within line of sight. So you'll be able to see any trap that's possibly in this room.
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure that was established. So you quickly shoot off the spell as you look around the room. You're looking forward and it's fine, but to your right you see a bright glare. As you look instantly to your right, and you see two of the cloaks that are hanging up. They're glowing, actually. It's strange. And then this luminescence you have of them, you quickly see an eye look back at you from the cloak, and it quickly blink shut.
Well, that's disturbing. And I say, there's a couple of cloaks over here, and one has an eye that just blinked at me.
Oh, well,
Ugh.
that doesn't
No.
that doesn't sound like a mechanical trap. How about we just
I would like to
could
stab
hold-
the coat with booming blade, please.
Alright.
Are you
Make
like
an attack
this?
roll with advantage.
Okay.
Well,
Why are
Yeah,
you
sure.
like this?
guys,
And
there's an
since we-
eye.
I mean,
so since
so, the bartender mentioned go kill a mimic or something. And I said I will.
well, you do get a +1 to the hit,
That is true.
and the other parts of your weapon that aren't normally magical are now also magical.
Let's see, what's my normal plus? I think it was like a +7. Yeah. So we get a +8 now. Dang, okay. So 15 plus 8 over 20.
That will hit.
Alright. Should I
Alright.
roll the damage for the coat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna roll the initial rapier damage first. One. Ba-doo-ba-doo. One plus 4, so that's 5 piercing damage.
Okay, and
The next is
Did you
thunder.
add the
it has
+1 to
+1
the
on it.
damage?
Oh, okay, yeah.
+1.
So 6 piercing,
okay.
and then of course
Nice.
the D8 of thunder initial.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 thunder.
Okay.
If it moves, it takes another 2d8 thunder.
On that, so you stab into it, and it's quiet for a second. You see your as you see the cloak spread wide, and in it you just see this glowing pair of red eyes facing at you, and this large mouth of teeth spring out from the darkness. This thing was alive.
Okay.
And we will pick up there next week.